All right. So before I put up the bell ringer, real quick, ancient civilization, ancient history. What do we know about it? What do we know about it? You guys should learn this. Ancient history. You don't know? A lot of old people. Okay, you're not. Austin, go ahead. Okay, thanks, Austin. Yeah, Gabe.
None of the people are still alive.
Okay, thanks, Gabe. Appreciate it. Alex, what are you gonna say?
Dead people.
Oh my goodness.
That's what I just said.
Dorian, help me out here. Okay, we're talking about the lifestyle.
That's sensory.
All right, okay. What about some ancient civilizations? Do we know any? Do we know any? Dakota.
Need some areas.
All right, Reagan. A lot of people were poor, okay, because these economic systems really didn't appear yet. All right, Gabe.
A lot of fighting.
A lot of fighting. Okay, so in the medieval times, Middle Ages, we'll talk about a lot of fighting here, a lot of warfare. Good. What else? Ancient civilizations. Do we remember any? Do we know any? Do we know any? Reagan? Ancient Greece and Rome. Great. Good work. So this is where we're picking up, where Rome fell. Empire of Rome, they fell. Okay, and this is kind of this time period right after where we're trying to rebuild. And the feudal system, which we'll talk about today, is going to appear. And this social hierarchy is going to lead these kingdoms to try to seek some sort of protection from these Visigoths, these barbarians. Okay, eventually we'll talk about the Vikings that took over some of these groups, especially ancient Rome. Okay, they fell, they became overstretched, and they just didn't have the protection they needed to obviously continue to protect their people. All right, so ancient Greece and Rome. Reagan, you said that, right? Perfect. So, Dorian. Actually, you gave lifestyle, so I'll give you that one. I'm going to have you switch with Austin. Austin, you're going to switch with Reagan. Yeah. You're back to the being a peasant. Sorry. Dorian, you can stay there. You can stay there. So like I said, guys, hey, you answer a question, you're going to move. You'll be able to move. It's going to be good. It's going to be bad. So if you're in the front row, what do you think you should do? Answer the questions. You're going to be demoted. You're going to be pushed down the social hierarchy. Good work. Good work. So listen up. Ancient Rome, they fell. Okay, this is going to cause a push for a lot of these kingdoms to appear all throughout Europe. All throughout Europe, okay? And we're going to talk about a few of them more tomorrow or next week of these kingdoms that are really appearing in Europe, especially like the Franks. We're going to talk about Charlemagne, you name it. And then eventually we'll talk about the Renaissance, the rebirth, okay? But the Middle Ages is also known as a different name. What is another name for the Middle Ages? What? The Dark Ages. Yeah, you're going to stay there. Good job. So why do they call it the Dark Ages? Why do they call it the Dark Ages? Violet? How about you keep your hands on? Why do they call it the Dark Ages? Someone else. Ale, go ahead. It wasn't a good time.
It was a very dark time.
It was a very dark time. Okay. Austin, you can redeem yourself here.
During those times, it was very dark outside.
You're safe. Okay, go ahead, Reagan.
There's like a lot.
A lot of fighting. Yep, a lot of disputes, a lot of warfare. Okay, good. A lot of what? Tyranny. I like that term. That's a good one. You know what? I'd like you to move with. How about you move? Kaylee. Yeah, so you two switch seats. Hey, now you're a lord. Now you're noble. Not bad. All right, good. All right, so with the Dark Ages, this caused a lot of issues, a lot of problems. Okay, listen up. Eventually, this will lead, because of the living style, which we'll talk about, this is going to lead to a black plague, a sickness, a disease that spread worldwide. And we'll discuss that here soon. All right, are you guys good with that? You guys good with that little introduction here of ancient history, how we're moving into the medieval times? All right, so bell ringer for today. What I'd like you to do, you can use the template on Canvas, that's fine. Or if you want to, you can use a Google Doc. You can use your notes app. Or if you want to write them down in your notes, that's fine. Just note you have to take a picture of them to post it to the assignment at the end of the week. These are going to be worth points. Also, where are you going to find these questions at? At the end of the chapter, where are you going to find it? You said? Okay, yeah, you'll find it on Canvas, but where else? What do you study for? A test exam, okay, so make sure you guys are writing these down. Here's your first question. Date it too, put your date up, write the question down, and also put your answer. So here's your first bell ringer. Define feudalism. How did feudalism come to be? And we kind of talked about that already. Need to, you can use your iPad to research this term. That's fine, no problem. So please answer in detail. I want to see sentences, right? I don't want to see just a list of terms. Okay, you're not going to receive full credit for that. Y'all done, Bryce? Just keep your iPad here. Finished? What's up? Let's start it. Put a Google Docs or Notes app. The darn. Just read it. It's the 24th. Write the question down, the answer. What's up, Reagan? Yeah, you can look it up. Yeah, if you don't know it, look it up. You have resources there right in front of you. That's fine. But if you're looking it up, don't copy and paste, right? Answer in your own words. Done my own? Okay. Figure it out yet. But hey, if you guys don't know it, man, hopefully you bring your iPad every single day. We're going to discuss it, go over it in class. That's the point of it. It's supposed to be a good review and help everybody be on the same page. And once we do that, I'd like you to write it down. I'd like you to obviously participate. Clearly, if you don't, you'll probably be moved back to being a servant. You don't want to be a servant. You don't want to be a peasant. Give you another minute to finish up. All right, so what is feudalism? What does it mean? So this was on the pretest. Remember, kings, if you want to get pushed back, you should probably put your hand up. Allie, go ahead. I saw your hand up first.
Medieval time in Europe.
All right, yeah, okay, good job. So feudalism is that time period right after, during the Middle Ages, where there is a time where people are thinking, what's the hierarchy here? Who's in, the leader? Who is the most powerful being of this time? All right, go ahead, Gabe.
When the government was like trying to rebuild itself and find what worked.
Okay, yeah, good job. So the feudal system, which we're going to be talking about here, that's exactly what's going to lead these people, these kingdoms, through the medieval times for protection, right? That was the biggest thing after the Roman Empire fell. Who's going to protect these people? The peasants, the serfs. Okay, obviously the knights are going to be there for protection as well. They're going to be the protectors, but at the same time, we need some sort of system, a hierarchy to help benefit the people from these Visigoths, these barbarians, these groups that really put the demise of the Roman Empire. All right, so this is the social hierarchy I want you guys to write down. So in your notes, if you're typing them out, you guys, I don't know, I'm sure you can make a pyramid in that. If not, you can just put like a ladder. Okay, obviously you can just put it at the top and work your way down. All right, so at the top of the social hierarchy, the pyramid, the feudal system, the feudal pyramid, who's at the very top? Who's at the very top? Go ahead, Wyatt. The king, yeah, good. So I'm just going to put an M for the monarch. We're going to say the king and the queen, right? Or the queen. And or. All right, so at the top we have the monarch. Okay, the monarch. And these are the people that have the wisdom to lead. These are the people that have the most power. Okay, these are the people that are guiding the rest of the people in the manner for the protection, for the benefit of that king. Obviously, we'll talk about some of these conquests. We'll talk about some of these kingdoms facing off against each other. And one in particular, we'll start off with Charlemagne. He's a very important figure during the Middle Ages. And he sought this power by literally advancing, expanding his kingdom almost to the point of the old Roman Empire. You guys got that? Good. King at the top. Right, who is below the king and queen? Bryce, go ahead. The lords, yes, good job. The vassals. If you guys hear the word vassal, that means a person of a higher status during this time. So you got lords, right? You got the high nobility. So I'm going to put high nobility. I'm just going to put an arrow here, nobility. You got the lords, vassals. Good work. And hey, Bryce, you can switch with Dakota. Dakota, you're in the back, sir. Sorry. Oh, wow. Jeez. That's how
I got my
you know that. Back. Yeah, just grab your stuff here. Grab your stuff. All right, Bryce, good work. So you now are a lord, a vassal. Isn't that nice? Yeah, sure. Cool. Look at that. All right, next movement here. So we have the high nobility, the lords, the vassals. Real quick, guys, to define this for you, the lords and the vassals are almost like your governors in a way. So you know the president of the United States, he's the leader of the country. Then you have certain states all throughout the country. Right? You need someone as an executive. You need someone as a head of these states. So the governor is like this, let's say, the head of that state. Does that make sense? So throughout these kingdoms, there's sections that are broken up where the Lord would have power, where the Lord would seek his power through that certain jurisdiction. So in a way, the king needs a little bit of help. He needs some sort of benefit, some sort of assistance when it comes to leading. And that's what the lords and vassals, the high nobility, are supposed to do. Okay? Good with that? All right. So a good way to think about it, they're like your governors. All right? They're like your governors. All right. Next. So moving down the feudal system pyramid. Go ahead, Austin. You have your hand. Yeah, you got your knights. So I'm going to say the lower nobility. I'm going to just put an arrow down, nobility. And this is your knights. Good work. The knights. And they're like your military generals. All right? They're your military generals. They're protecting the lords. They're protecting the vassals. They're the ones that are protecting, obviously, the kingdom. So their goal is to protect, to plan out maybe an attack, an invasion of a kingdom that's nearby, whatever it might be. Good work. So Austin, you answered that right. You can switch with Layla. All right, so Layla, gotta move, you guys are switching seats. You're being the voted czar, Layla. All right, underneath, below nobility tonight, so we have. Okay, Mike's moving up here. Go ahead, Dakota. Yeah, good job, peasants. Good work. Got some peasants. And again, guys, there's a lot of these social hierarchies, pyramids. There might be more, but for the most part, this is what we're going to focus on. It's going to be plain Jane simple. The peasants, and what is the role of peasants? Go ahead, Dakota. Might as well finish it off. What do they do? Secretary. Okay, yeah, they help serve the knights during warfare. Good. What else, Alec?
They work for the upper class.
Yeah, okay, so they help the nobility, they help the lords, the king. Doing what mostly? What are these people? What do they do? What's their job? Go ahead. Aiden.
They are mostly farmers.
Farmers, great word, great word. So these people are farmers. They might be just regular soldiers as well. Basic war. So I'm just gonna keep it there since you both answered. Sorry. All right, so good job. We have our peasants, we have our farmers, our soldiers. At the very bottom, who do we have? Who do we have? Alec, go ahead.
Citizens?
Citizens, okay, there's a, not gonna go there. Sorry. Go ahead, Aiden. They're the serfs. Good job. So you can switch. Native. Right? Good job. The serfs. The serfs. And what is the role of the serfs? Who are they? Great good. Basically like slaves. Yeah, good job. All right, they're basically slaves. I won't say fully that they are because they are granted freedom if they perform well in war, if they provide for the kingdom, right? So that is what we're talking about here with this social hierarchy. Make sure you guys write it down. It's important to know. And this is not only happening in Europe. This actually we can see appear in Japan. And we'll talk about Japan here soon enough, especially when we get to World War I, that moment, that time. And it starts to change right around that time. But anyway, there you go. Here's the feudal system. Now, what I want you to do is start another Google Doc, another Notes app, or have this separate from your bell ringers, whatever it might be. I like you to start this as medieval, Middle Ages vocab. So I'm going to put up your terms each day once we dive into a new lesson. And here is your terms for today. I'd like you to write these down. So we got Middle Ages, feudalism, chivalry, and thief. So we already talked over feudalism. We're good there, okay? But what I'd like you to do is you can research these terms on your iPad. That's fine. Just don't copy and paste. Write them in your own words. That's the only way you're going to realize and know that term when we get to the test. Okay, so please write these in your own terms, your own words. You can research them, that's fine on your iPad, but make sure you're writing. I'll give you a little bit of time, research them, we'll discuss it, we'll go over it, and then that will be it for today, since we're winding up on time. Please start another Google Doc, another Notes app, whatever, and you can just put Middle Ages vocab. So, here, Scott. Good. So then at the end of the chapter, I'll have an assignment post that says vocab. Right? You just post that list. We'll have a running list here to the end of the chapter. All you got to do is put that list into the assignment post, and you're good. Does that make sense? You understand why you got it? What grades are running? Since we are running low on time, we only got 2 minutes. Real quick, Middle Ages, what we have. You don't want to lose your role as king. Go ahead.
The Middle Ages is the Dark Ages, the Age of Feudalism.
Yeah, good job. So this is the Age of Feudalism, what we just talked about. Middle Ages is that time period roughly around right around the fall of the Roman Empire, leading up to the Renaissance, the rebirth, which we're going to talk about next chapter. So Middle Ages, you could put in parentheses beside it, Dark Ages. Okay? The Dark Ages, medieval time. Okay? And this is what I like to do. Obviously, go over the term with you, and then you guys can write it down a little bit extra that maybe you didn't have. Bryce, pick your head up. You're going to lose your position. You're going to be back to serve. Come on, write it down. Write it down. Let's go. Middle Ages, feudalism, feudal system, and the Dark Ages. Good, good. All right, so feudalism we already talked about. This is the time of the social hierarchy of this time of the Middle Ages. Okay, and this is where we see at the top the king, the queen, the nobility right underneath, the lesser nobility with the knights, and the peasants and the serfs. So if you want to, you can just copy and paste that pyramid that you just wrote up right into that term. That's fine. That's what you want. Or if you just want to type in the social hierarchy of the time, that's fine. All right, chivalry. What's chivalry? Go ahead, Aiden. Yeah, good job. Good job. So this is kind of the creed of a knight. Okay, this is their oath to the kingdom, to the monarch, to the nobility. Right? They are there to protect. They're not to speak out of line. They're not to critique the king. They're not there to try to cause an issue with the nobility, the lords, or the monarch. Does that make sense? So in a way, they're respectful. Last thing's a faith. That social contract we talked about. So with the monarch, he's getting land of the lords, right? Nobility, those are nice, same thing. Okay, so that's a social contract. Make sure you write that down. See you guys later. Grab your phones, don't forget.
Gabriel Motter, please report to the main office, and with the following students, please report to the guidance office with your iPad. Michael McGee, Matt Messner, Jordan Piper, Ethan Redinger, Jeffrey Teeter, Wyatt Troutman, Connor Walker, Sean Wenrick, and Luke Wenzel, all to the guidance office with your iPad and with the volleyball team members.